not easy to go through, as a friend. Was, or are you staying as friend? Oh, no, I'm not staying as friend.
But I think the first and foremost, though, is I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up, and I think I might just extend that starting now. One of these, let's take a step back.
Oh, we gonna dive right into this. Go YouTube, we got a hot topic to talk about today, and this one personally kind of hits me a little bit different because I was such a fan of this guy, and by the guy I'm talking about, a streamer and internet personality named Dr. Disrespect. For those who don't know, he was a video game streamer, a video game developer. He helped with Call of Duty. He had his own battle royale game coming out that he was working on that was pretty popular on Twitter. He had an early release of it, but I haven't heard too much from it. So just to get the story rolling, so what happened was this man, Dr. Disrespect, he was a famous streamer, again, a video game player, developer, all that. He was using Twitch. He started on Twitch. He eventually got banned from Twitch to the point where people couldn't play with him while they live streamed on Twitch. Nobody really knew why he got Twitch banned. He never spoke about it for years. I'm sure there were some NDAs going on. I know he talked about there was a settlement that came out in this situation where they had to pay him out, I guess, like out of his contract before he switched over to YouTube a couple years ago. Now, in recent news, one of a former Twitch employee came out and said the reason he got banned is because he was caught messaging underage girls. So to anybody with a right mind, they know that this is a red flag. This is a no-go. But again, me personally, I waited till I had receipts to see what was actually going on. Because sometimes, not even sometimes, we've seen plenty of times before where people get accused of stuff and people start to pick sides before we have concrete evidence. But it looks like that the evidence actually came out. This man has previously cheated on his wife. He made it public some years back. And now the real reason why he was banned finally came out, and it's just absolutely crazy. He admitted it on Twitter, and in his last stream that I'll show later in this video, you could see his energy just wasn't the same at the end of the stream because he knew that the snowball effect just started coming down. But let's go ahead and let's just take a look at the tweet that he had, and we're going to dissect this one, man, because this one is absolutely sad. So he posted this long book. I don't know if it was him or his PR. It sounds like it's him because his personality that he has, his persona that he played online was like this 1990s like high-end person, had all like the old Lamborghinis, won like all these championships for video games. It's just his persona. He doesn't really look like this. He doesn't have a mustache. Well, he may have a mustache, but he doesn't have the wig. He doesn't wear the glasses. This is just his persona. So he starts by saying the Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the effing B. As you know, there's no filter with me. And yes, he's a very unfiltered person. We'll get into that later. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. I give him respect for that. If you can accept what you did, that's one thing. I mean, that's not saying it's be all end all, however that phrase goes, but if you can take accountability, that's still something. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. That was a game studio that he co-founded that we'll get into later and what happened with that. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully. So right there, they came to the conclusion that he was going to step down. So they already got the ball moving on this whole situation. You know, the cancel culture, rightfully so in this situation, rightfully so. I can't be mad. They knew that he was going to be off the name of that for that company, right? Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Yes, probably, like I said before, NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Now that former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusation, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were the real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate with nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I've never met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute that Twitch in that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me and no criminal charges have been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's what me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll effing own my S. This was stupid. So again, when you're going to bring this line and say that's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father, right then and there, before you make those decisions, that should come to your mind. I'm not a husband yet. I'm not a father yet. Hope soon to be. But I still have a girlfriend that I love to death. And with this, it's the same situation. I would always think before I make decisions. Would I do this in front of her? Would I do this in front of my mother? But I just really can't take this statement as being serious because you still went out and did it. So trying to bring them in now to get some pity or whatever, it's just not it. Now, with all this said, don't get it effing mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no effing predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me effing knows where I stand on those things with those type of people. F that. There's a different level of disgust that I effing hate, even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggeration. Get the F out of here with that S. So my whole issue with just this part now, he's acting like he has an attitude that he can still be on top of the world with this. Like, no, buddy, you're wrong. You did wrong. You got caught. Bow, slap on the wrist. Granted, if it wasn't, taken to that level, I'm glad to hear that. But it still happened regardless. A grown man having a conversation with anybody under 18, I don't care if it's a day, a week, a month, you still did what you did. You understand how society is today. And especially with your support of Nick Merckx, with him saying leave the kids alone, and you were a big believer in it, and you backed him with it, and you got caught. It's very contradicting. It's hypocritical, and I can't back it no matter what. I used to love watching their content. I think I'm going to step away from watching them. I mean, him, Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx, I watched them when I was really into the gaming community, and I just started watching streamers. He was one of them, and now I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to feel the same because we see his persona online and who he is when he's this character in front of the world, but who is he really? Who is he when he cuts off that record button? Who is he? And I think that's what we're seeing. But I think I've said what I need to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's my Twitch made decision in 2020. So my team, community, industry, friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can imagine. I have the effing best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this, to all my haters that live and breathe, well, Jesus, man, it's supposed to be breathe, not breath. Social media with zero real life experience. I don't give a F about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement, think I'm a piece of S, that's fine, but I'm not effing going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream. I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, effing right. So with that long tweet being read out, I want to hear everybody's statements down below in the comments, because this, to me, it's like you're not going to have the chance to really come back and stream. If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a betting man. With everything that goes on, the moment you get caught doing something that society is not comfortable with, or society does not agree with, or some of these leftists, liberals that you constantly go against, it's powerful enough to where you're probably going to get kicked off YouTube. You can't go back to Twitch. So you have other places, maybe like Rumble, which will probably allow you on, maybe, because they're the more unhinged version of YouTube, basically. You can say what you want, do what you want without getting strikes and bans. But to me personally, I just really don't see how he can come back from this. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, his friends, Courage JD, and I've seen words from Courage JD. I got some videos I've seen on Nick Merckx talking about the situation. They're all disgusted, right? And the issue is, this does not just affect him. This affects everybody around him. I'm a firm believer in what you do behind closed doors and away from your friends and family matters. I hate when people say that stuff does not matter, because look at it in this situation. You have Nick Merckx, who is one of his friends that he's not best friends, one of his friends, his acquaintances, that said that, they were cool. He backed Nick Merckx up. So when you got a person out here yelling, oh, leave the kids alone, but you're talking to kids, then what? Now you're making Nick look bad. You're making yourself look bad. You're contradicting, you're hypocritical. And again, you're making your friends look bad, because now people believe that there's no way you hid this from your so-called friends all these years. And they're just finding out. People aren't going to believe that. Courage JD, I'll put the screenshot here and what he said on Twitter about it. I haven't seen what his other friend, Z-Laner, said, the guy that he played with almost every day. But I've seen what Nick said and JD said. They said it's absolutely disgusting. So what you do behind closed doors or what you do not around your friends and family, it matters. Stop believing what you do does not matter. Because, for example, here's another example. Say if what he did with that child, somebody wanted to get him. They couldn't get him. So they see the next person, his friends, his family. They may try to do something to them or, something along those lines. So it definitely matters. He's a husband, but he got caught cheating on his wife. So I really want to know. Actually, I don't really want to know. I'm curious to know what his wife has to say about this, because this is not the first time he's been in the spotlight like this. And again, like I said, this absolutely kills me because he was one of my favorite entertainers. And I'll be honest, he's definitely probably one of the top streamers / entertainers on the internet in the world. I'm gonna be honest, he is. He says he amassed millions of followers on Twitch, YouTube, his social media. He had partnerships with the San Francisco 49ers. He had his own studio that he co-founded. He had skins in NBA 2K that they took away. So more and more sponsorships of people he worked with are going to go away because they're not going to want to be labeled with this. And it's unfortunate because one moment he was here, and then with one tweet, he went all the way below the Mendoza line, baby. And I'm going to put that tweet up to show you what this guy said. He just came out and said it. I don't know what prompted him to say it. I don't know if somebody asked him. I just know that he put the tweet out and it went viral and everybody heard it. Everybody read it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I want to know what you guys think down below, man. Tell me how you really feel about this. Do you think he's still in that category of being those people that shouldn't inappropriately talk to kids just because of the situation? Do you think it's not as serious, but still serious? I'm really curious because this is absolutely nuts, man. Like I said, it matters what you do. I don't care what they say. It matters. Be a good person. Be an honest person. Love the next man. Love the next woman. Respect everybody until you're disrespected. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.
And I don't know how to do it without just yelling at you. Like, it's not easy to go through, as a friend. Or are you staying as friend? Oh, no, I'm not staying as friend. No, I'm going to look, your friends can make mistakes and you can forgive and stuff, and you don't need to live with all that hate in your heart, I guess, per se. But like I said, this kind of thing for me is inexcusable. I don't want to influence you guys to do, you think the way you want, but for me, it's inexcusable. It's not ever going to be defendable. I won't ever understand how he can know that the girl is underage and he's still hitting her up. I'm just not going to be able to wrap my head around that ever in the history of ever for the rest of time, as far as time goes on. If some of you can, that's your shit. Did he know? Einstein, it's funny that your name is Einstein. Yes, brother, he knew.
When shit like this happens over the weekend, and it just kind of, it's like how many times can I I don't, like, I'm actually tired of being on social media, and I've expressed that over the years, champ. So I just, I've always kind of hinted like it'd be nice to get off and just completely separate, right? Go live in Costa Rica or something. I don't know. But I'm just feeling burnt out, I think. I came into this with, when did we start streaming, champs? 2015, 16. Been doing this since 2009. Different scene back then, having a good time, playing the games that were fun to interact with and create content with. And over the years, it's just gotten, I don't know, like it's been drained out of me. It's being drained out of me. It's being drained out of my family and I. And I just feel like, I had the mindset of, let's just see what happens today. How are we feeling? And I'll tell you, I just, I don't know. I'm just feeling burnt out. You know? Maybe it's time to start something new, something different. You know, challenge those creative senses. A desire to explore different realms, if you will. But I think the first and foremost, though, is, you know, I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up. And I think I might just extend that starting today, starting now. You know, one of these, let's take a step back. I mean, it is what it is. People get fatigued, right, champs?